Hello friends and welcome to Parks Crafty Creations. I'm your host, Brian Parks. Have you ever turned one of your handmade garments inside out and wished it looked just as beautiful on the inside as it does on the outside? Maybe you're looking for a cleaner finish for your seams, but don't own a serger. One sewing technique can make a huge difference, and the best part is if you can sew a straight stitch, you can absolutely perform this technique. No serger or special equipment required. Today, I'm going to show you an easy technique to encase the raw edges of your fabric for a clean, professional finish as we learn how to sew a French seam. And be sure to stick around to the end for a special bonus tip to give your finish an even cleaner, professional look. If you're sewing shirts, blouses, dresses, pajamas, or other lightweight garments, this is a seam finish you'll find yourself using again and again. Before we start sewing, let's talk about what a French seam actually is. A French seam is a method of sewing two seams instead of one. The first seam joins our raw edges, and the second seam encloses everything inside while also giving us our final seam. The finished result is a seam that's completely clean on the inside of your garment. There's no exposed fabric edges to fray over time, and the inside looks neat and polished. One of the things I love most about French seams is that they give homemade garments a professional appearance. When someone looks inside your project, they'll see smooth and closed seams instead of unfinished edges. French seams are commonly used on lightweight woven fabrics such as quilting cotton, lawn, voile, linen blends, rayon, and other fabrics that tend to fray. They're especially popular for garments like blouses, shirts, dresses, nightgowns, and pajamas because they create a soft seam that's comfortable against your skin. Another advantage is durability. Since the raw edges are enclosed, they're protected during washing and everyday wear, helping your garment last longer. Now, French seams aren't the right choice for every project, and we'll talk about that a little later. But when you're working with the right fabric, they're one of the nicest seam finishes you can use. For today's demonstration, you'll need just a few basic supplies: your fabric, matching thread, a sewing machine, pins or sewing clips, fabric scissors or thread snips, a seam gauge or ruler, and an iron. If you've watched many of my videos, you already know how much I talk about pressing. It might seem like an extra step, but pressing is one of the biggest differences between a project that looks homemade and one that looks professionally sewn. We'll be pressing several times during this process, and every one of those steps helps create a cleaner final result. Now for the fun part. One thing that surprises a lot of people is that we're going to start with the wrong sides of the fabric together. That's the opposite of how we would normally sew, but don't worry, it'll all make sense in just a minute. Match up your fabric edges carefully and pin or clip them together. For this first seam, I'm using a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Take your time and sew as straight as you can. Accuracy here makes the second seam much easier. Once you've finished sewing, take your scissors and trim that seam allowance down to about 1/8 inch. Don't skip this step. If the seam allowance is left too wide, little threads can peek out after the second seam, and we definitely don't want that. Now, it's time to head to the ironing board. Press the seam allowance to one side. Next, fold the fabric so the right sides are together. The first seam is now tucked inside the fold. Run your iron along that folded edge to create a nice, crisp crease. Now we're ready for the second seam. This time, I'm sewing with a 3/8 inch seam allowance. As you stitch, you're completely enclosing that first seam inside the second one. Once you've reached the end, give the seam one final press. I like to press it flat first to set the stitches. Then press the seam allowance to one side. Now, let's open it up. On the outside, you'll see a regular seam, but on the inside, no raw edges, no fraying. Everything is neatly enclosed inside the seam. It's such a simple technique, but it really elevates the finished garment. By the way, if you're enjoying this tutorial so far, I'd really appreciate it if you'd give the video a like down below. It really helps YouTube share this video with other people who are learning to sew, and it really supports the channel. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell icon so you'll never miss out whenever a new video drops. And hey, if you love what we do here, don't forget to share it with your friends. Alright, let's get back to it. There are a few things that can trip people up when they're learning French seams. The biggest one is forgetting to trim the first seam allowance. If those edges aren't trimmed closely enough, they'll sometimes stick out after the second seam. Another common mistake is sewing the first seam too wide. Remember, that first seam needs to be narrow enough to fit completely inside the second seam. Skipping the pressing steps is another mistake. I know it's tempting to go straight back to the sewing machine, but pressing helps everything line up correctly and makes the second seam much easier to sew. Finally, don't rush. French seams reward accuracy far more than speed. A few extra seconds spent lining up your fabric can make a big difference in how polished the finished seam looks. So, when should you use a French seam? French seams are ideal for lightweight, woven fabrics that tend to fray. They're perfect for garments where the inside may be visible, or where you simply want a more polished or professional finish. However, I usually avoid using them on thick fabrics like denim, canvas, or heavy flannel because the multiple layers can become bulky. They're also not my first choice for very tight curves or areas with several seams coming together. Like any sewing technique, it's all about choosing the right method for the project. Before we wrap up, I want to share one more technique that I like to use on certain projects. Once I've finished my French seam, I sometimes like to top stitch it down so it lays nice and flat. This isn't necessary on every garment, but I think it gives shirts, pajamas, and lightweight jackets a really clean, tailored look. An added bonus is that top stitching gives the outside of the garment an appearance that's similar to that of a flat felled seam. While it's constructed differently than a true flat felled seam, you still get that crisp line of visible top stitching that you often see on ready-to-wear garments. To do this, I first press the seam allowance to one side. Then, I sew a line of top stitching through all the layers, close to the folded edge of the seam. One of my favorite ways to do this is with an edge stitch foot. The guide blade on the edge stitch foot rides along the French seam, which keeps the foot perfectly aligned as I sew. Instead of trying to watch the needle and keep an even distance from the seam, I let the guide blade do the work. If your machine allows you to adjust the needle position, this is where that feature really shines. Once the guide blade is riding against the seam, simply move the needle until it's exactly where you want your top stitching to land. It makes it easy to sew a perfectly even line of stitching that's consistently spaced from the seam all the way down your garment. If your machine doesn't have adjustable needle positions, you can still get beautiful results by using the zipper foot, so you can get right up against that edge with a consistent stitch. Top stitching is completely optional. A French seam is already a beautiful and durable finish in its own right. But if you'd like your seam to lay a little flatter and enjoy the look of a flat felled seam without actually sewing one, This is a great technique to add to your sewing toolbox. Now, keep in mind, if you're sewing heavier fabrics like denim, the flat felled seam is the way to go to avoid bulk, but for lighter weight fabrics, I actually prefer the French seam over the flat felled seam. Just my personal opinion. I just find it easier to be consistent across the board with. Again, just my personal opinion. Yours may differ. And if you'd like a fun project to practice your new French seam skills, I have just the thing. One of my favorite beginner-friendly projects is my burrito pillowcase tutorial. The body of the pillowcase is sewn using French seams to enclose all of the raw edges, so it's a great way to get some hands-on practice with the technique we learned today. If you'd like to give it a try, I'll have that video linked in the description below. Also, on the end screen. It's a quick project that's perfect for building your confidence before using French seams on a garment. Now you know how to sew a beautiful French seam. It's one of those techniques that's easy to learn, requires very little extra effort, and can really improve the overall quality of your handmade garments. If you found this tutorial helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you give this video a like down below, or even a hype if you'd be so kind. It really does help out the channel, and if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell icon so you'll never miss out whenever a new video drops. I'd also love to hear from you in the comments. Have you used French seams before? If so, what project are you planning to use them on next? Thanks so much for sewing with me today. I've been Brian Parks for Parks Crafty Creations. Happy sewing, and we'll see you next time.